Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I am answering a question from one of my readers. And the question is, what did I really want to be when I grew up? Uh, you know, I have been a lot of things. I've had a lot of odd jobs, weird jobs, some normal ones even. I have ran a daycare, and I've worked in an office, and I sold death over the phone telemarketing thing for prearranged funerals. Um, I have I ran a porn site back in the early '90s, believe it or not. So I have had a very strange collection of jobs. Um, but what did I want to be when I grew up? Uh, I wanted to be a lot of things when I was a kid. I wanted to be an artist, a musician, a poet, a painter, a writer. Um, I was, you know, I was very artistic. I was very musical. I played two instruments. I had perfect pitch in my voice. Um, I had excellent hand-eye coordination and perfect vision. And you know, I wanted to be one of those things when I grew up. The unfortunate thing is when you are young, and those are wonderful things to be. You know, the adults in your life, the one thing, oh, that's nice, but what is going to be your real job? And that's the big thing right there. What's your real job going to be? Um, because those professions aren't taken seriously in our country, except for this really small handful of lucky few that do end up, becoming famous artists or musicians, or writers. There's only so many, Andy Warhols and Stephen Kings and, Beyonce's. I wouldn't have been a Beyonce, but you know what I mean. Anyway, um, but for the rest of us, those are just, those are hobbies. Those are childish dreams of what you're going to be when you grow up. And those are the things that I excelled at. So it was, growing up, the things that I wanted to be were frowned upon. And so I ended up, I wanted to be a psychiatrist, or a psychologist. Um, and, I, you know, as any of you who have read my books know that, while I did receive a full scholarship, to go to school for that, circumstances, I ended up not utilizing it. And while I did eventually go back and get an associate's in psychology with a minor in art, I didn't get the doctorates that I had hoped for, or even the master's. So instead of any of my dreams, I ended up pursuing a collection of odd jobs for most of my life. And then, back several years ago in 2015, I did publish my first book. It'll Feel Better When It Quits Hurting, as an indie. And because as I submitted it to multiple publishing houses, as you're supposed to, I was told that as wonderful as my story was, and as great as it entertaining, and everyone loved it, as a memoir writer, I would never be prolific enough to, justify their investing in me, is essentially most of what the letters I got were. 3 years later, 3 years and 8 books later, here I sit. Not prolific enough, huh? Anyway, so, but the fact is, I am semi-retired, and if it wasn't for circumstances, I would not even be able to pursue this. I legitimately do not make enough money to live off of, to be an author. I make money, not a lot, not enough, not nearly enough to, pay the mortgage and the utilities and the internet bill. So I am fortunate that I do have other means, and being semi-retired, I do, I do get a retirement annuity. So I am able to pursue at last my dreams of what I wanted to be when I grow up, and that is a writer. So I guess I am what I wanted to be when I grew up. So anyway, I hope that answers your question, and I will talk to you next Sunday. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.